How's it going, guys? And welcome back to yet another episode of Saturday Sit Down. I think this is number 4 actually we're going down, so quite a good little streak we're on at the moment with the Saturday Sit Downs. Thank you for joining us once again. As always, my co-host is here, Dean. Dean, how's it going, brother?
Always good, brother. Always good to get down on a Saturday, sit down.
We got a lot of chats about, lot of previews coming up for the weekend. We've got rugby, we've got some football, and some UFC coming up. Obviously, Dricus. Maybe let's actually start with the UFC. I think that's quite big. Dricus du Plessis finally getting a title shot against Strickland. I believe it's going to be UFC 297, start of next year, somewhere in Jan.
Jan 20.
I mean, that's huge
Jan
for
20.
Jan 20. That's huge for South African MMA. I think that's the first ever proper world title shot we're getting. And Dricus looks like he could pull it off. I mean, Strickland, even though he beat Adesanya, is not known as the highest ranked champion. So Dricus could actually pull off and get a title back to South Africa.
Yeah, for sure. I back him, bro. It's the styles, but I think Dricus is very dangerous for Strickland. And also, like you said, bro, he's already been by far the best South African ever in MMA, bro. So, but it's lucky to see, bro. I hope he brings that home, bro. That'll be insane, bro, if Dricus becomes champ there.
Did you see him at the World Cup?
Yeah, bro. Jason Momoa.
The final. Jason Momoa and Djokovic, I think, was also checking him out, what the hell's going on? Because him and that guy, I think he was with his boxing coach. They were first of all loving each other a lot. Whenever we scored a point or something good happened, they were so excited. It was hilarious to see.
But it's if it's Dricus, he can say and do what he wants. No one's gonna say anything.
Yeah, no one's gonna say anything. I saw they bought you mentioned Momoa. They bought him a beer. They had a beer together. But it was just weird to see. But not weird. Actually, good to see the support that he got, and now he's got the South Africans backing him. Talking about the rugby. We got some URC, United Rugby Championship, coming up this weekend. South Africans struggling last weekend. Three losses away from home, and just the Bulls picking up the win. What are your thoughts on this weekend? We've got the Sharks in Italy against Zebre. The Bulls in Wales against Cardiff, both those on the Friday night. Then Saturday we've got Lions versus Scarlets, also in Wales, and we've got Stormers versus Benetton in Italy. What are your thoughts? Let's actually get into the Sharks game first. Sharks versus Zebre. Both teams looking for their first win, by the way.
Yeah, bro, Sharks, I think it's a good game for them because Zebra is not too great, but you see what the Bulls did to them. Yeah, bro, I think it's an important game for the Sharks. They need to get some points, bro. And I think the gap between Zebra and them's big, bro. So I reckon Sharks by 15.
Okay, Sharks by 15 against Zebre. I've got it a bit closer. I've got the Sharks by 6. I think it's going to be a tight one. Zebre have shown a little bit of... Actually, they've actually got 5... All their points so far, 5 are bonus points. So it seems like they're able to actually score some tries. The Sharks just look very underwhelming. I mean, they constantly make a lot of changes. I see, even though I'm a big fan, George Crenier's coming in at 8th man, so maybe he makes a bit of a difference. Janti Opiwe didn't have a great game against... Was it the Ospreys last weekend, making a crucial error on the try line for them to score. And obviously they're still also waiting for a lot of Springboks to come back. So I think it's going to be closer than that. I back the Sharks by 6. So I say Sharks by 6, close one. Let's move on to the next one. We've got Cardiff versus the Bulls, the high-flying Bulls at the moment. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, exactly like you say, the high-flying Bulls, but I see them winning this. Maybe not too big because obviously the Welshmen are back playing for Cardiff. So I reckon I back the Bulls here. Tough encounters. Bulls by 7.
You think by 7? I'm actually going for the Bulls by 19 because the Bulls actually in their first 3 games so far this season have scored over 100 points. I know the opposition also matters, the caliber of opposition they faced. But still, it seems like they're scoring tries for fun. Who was it? David Creel scoring a hat-trick, I think, last weekend. Devin Williams also coming into the side on loan from the Pumas. And just making a huge difference there at the fullback. I think he's like that type of player that just needed this platform that allows him to showcase his talents. Because now you can really see it. When he's surrounded with top quality players around him, he even shines even more. So I think the Bulls, I back the Bulls to actually do really, really well. And I think the Bulls are going to take this one by 19. I think they're going to have a good tour and just continue winning. For me at the moment, they're looking like the best South African team.
Yeah, for sure, looking good. You see, Cameron Hanekom, speaking of them playing in Wales, Cameron Hanekom interest from Warren Gatland to join the Welsh setup.
I know. And
Apparently he's got a
you
Welsh
mentioned him for one
grandfather.
of your South African like next Springbok call-ups, like one of the next
Yeah.
Springbok call-ups, and now he could even possibly be a Welshman.
Yeah, but I think that's actually maybe in a way good for my prediction, because it might be like a bit forced to push him into the
to
box
pick him
setup
now.
a bit sooner.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not
No,
push him in,
definitely.
but just have a word with him and say, listen, you're on our radar. Don't make a
Keeping an
decision
eye
and
on
go
you.
play for Wales. Yeah. But
Yeah, we're
moving on
keeping an eye
then,
on
brother. Next game
Yep.
is gonna be
Scarlets versus the Lions. The Lions that unfortunately have not been able to pick up a win yet this season. But in all honesty, all three of their games they could have actually won. If they were just better if they just played better, took the opportunities, capitalized on the opportunities better, they actually would have won those games. All three of their losses so far this season by a margin of less than 5 points. So Lions, I think, let me take in the lead here, but I think the Lions are actually going to win this one. I think they're going to pick up their first victory of the campaign. I backed them by 9. The one interesting selection that I actually wanted to speak to you about was Sanele Nohamba starting ahead of Jordan Hendricks in the 10. What are your thoughts on that one?
I think they maybe just want to change things up a bit, bro. Obviously, they've lost and it's not working in a combination. So maybe they want to try something different. It might be a fact of they want to run a bit more. I don't know. It might be also Jaden Hendricks'. It's Jordan Hendricks,
Yeah,
his defense, bro. I think he cost it with that one mistake he made and Fekitoro scored. So it might be that, they can't deal with the defense problems anymore. But we have to see, bro. Scarlet's a difficult side, bro. It's not away from home. It's not in the Lions' favor. I don't see them winning this, bro. I'm gonna go Scarlets here by 10 points.
Scarlets by 10. I got Lions by 9. It's quite interesting. We've got, even in our first 3 predictions so far for the week, quite different answers from both of us.
Yeah.
And then lastly, we've got the Stormers v Benetton. Benetton now obviously got a lot of momentum after their first ever victory over the Lions last weekend. So, but facing another difficult team in the Stormers who were runners up in the URC last season.
Yeah, but I think Stormers just got too much for them, bro. Benetton, good side, but like we said, probably on the same level of the Lions. That game could have gone either way. So I expect Stormers to give them a bit of a thumping here. I'm going to go Stormers by 19.
I also think so. I think last week's game against... Who did the Stormers play last week? Glasgow Warriors. They played Glasgow. I think it was a bit of a fluke. First game on tour, it's always difficult going to Scotland. It's cold there at the moment. So, and coming from a place like South Africa that's super warm at the moment, very nice weather, going to a cold climate could have a bit of an effect on you. They also need a few of their Springboks back. But I agree with you. I think Stormers just have too much class. Even with the players that they have at the moment, without their Booker, they just have too many good players for Benetton to cope with. And I actually back the Stormers by 14 with that one.
Yeah, pretty close. I agree. Yeah, bro. You see, Lee Halfpenny signed for Crusaders now. Also another move. Interesting one.
What are your thoughts on that one? I think it's a bit of a marketing stunt, eh?
It's a marketing.
I think it's just a marketing stunt.
I don't know, bro. It's maybe interesting for him. Maybe it's just a personal move rather than like
Yeah, sorry.
Like a personal move that he wants to experience something that like they gave him the opportunity to have, and now he's taking it. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not questioning why Lee Halfpenny's moved. Playing for a team like the Crusaders that generally wins Super Rugby, playing an exciting brand of rugby, a new experience like you mentioned. My thing is, why are the Crusaders going for Lee Halfpenny? Surely there must be a 15 in New Zealand, a youngster or someone that's way better than the 35-year-old Lee Halfpenny. And he's only going for 1 season, so I really don't see what the idea behind this is, bar maybe marketing, signing like a high-profile player. And we've seen, even with our local team, the Sharks, they've been signing players like that. Franco Hogart, for instance, coming in. I don't know. I think sometimes signing these players just kind of hinders your side more than it benefits your side.
I don't know, but maybe it's because they got a young fullback that they don't have too much faith in at the moment, and they want to just they maybe got the opportunity to take Halfpenny, and they thought, you know what, let's bring in a bit of experience. If it doesn't work, there's no qualms about dropping him.
Yeah.
And if it works, then it looks like a genius move,
Yeah, I just think it's a bit of a marketing stunt. I really don't see
Yeah.
the reason. I don't see the reasoning behind it. But talking about experience versus young, we got 20. Okay, we just won the World Cup, so maybe looking a bit too far in the future. But let's get in our time machine and go to 2027. Do you perhaps have a 2027 Boca team there for me? A possible World Cup side?
You asked like maybe I have, but you didn't ask me before to prepare this, bro. But yeah, I do, brother. I do. Yeah, let's get straight into it. This is Dean's Springbok team squad. Let's go full squad for the 2027
we're
World
going 1 to 15 everyone, and then subs as well. Because I had to do subs, bro. Honestly, there's too many players to pick from.
Yeah, for sure. So basically, like, our criteria is obviously age. You know, funny enough, this for me is basically the class of '95, bro. It's so many experienced players born in this year. So when World Cup comes around, they'll be 32 years old.
32 majority of them.
Which is probably like
Malcolm Marks and them.
Malcolm's just 1 year older, but a lot of guys, bro.
Is he 1 year older?
So that's like the main level, I think, of World Cup players, bro. The main age. But let's start, bro. At number 1, I've got Oxenche, born 95. Obviously, insane World Cup, and if he carries on like this, he's gonna be like the new beast, bro.
He's Kitsov's air for sure. He's the next on in line. Because Kitsov's not coming. You mentioned of age, so I think also sorry to say, I agree with you. I think Oxenche is definitely the number 1.
Yeah. Number 2, Malcolm Marks, born 94, so he'll be 33 then. I think that's probably, he might be a shout for captaining the side at that age at this time, bro. So obviously,
like him in the country.
Exactly. So world's best could possibly at this time be world's best ever.
Yeah, I agree.
So number 3, I went Thomas Joy, born 95. Also quite a lot of experience, an absolute unit. I think this is probably props develop a bit later on and get that opportunities a bit later on. So I think it's perfect for him and getting his time in there. Number 4, I went Ruben van Heerden, impressive at the Stormers. I enjoy where he plays. Been around a bit, but he's
been a traveller. He's gone to, I think, Bulls, Sharks and Stormers, and a bit overseas. I think he was in France for a while.
Yeah, for sure. But I rate him a lot. He's dynamic. That does the dark work. Number 5, RG Sneeman, born in 95, bro. Absolute machine of a human. We've seen how effective he's been in the past, how many years he's been playing. And at this time, he'll be, 32, like we said, and he'll be in his prime, bro. He'll be insane then. Number 6, Marco van Staden, another boy from the 95 class.
Marco van Staden.
Also, heavy experience, bro, and by that time comes around, he'll be even more experienced. Number 7, I went Auri Blow.
You're going with like full experience, though. Eh? You're going for 30 plus almost.
I think it's a pattern with the Springboks, bro. We don't really take risks on age and that, bro. It's a normal. I think from 2007 we've relied heavily on experience, and you know what? It's brought us the results. You look at our scrum in the last game, the final, most experienced scrum we've ever had. So it just shows you the path. I think
most guys were over 30. Was there even anyone that was in their 20s? I don't think so. I don't think there was a single player in our loose forwards that were in their 20s. I think everyone was 30 plus. So yeah, you got a good point.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a general pattern of what we do. Number 7, Auric Lowe for the Bulls, absolute machine, bro. He'll get a lot more time soon, and I expect him to be an absolute monster next World Cup. Number 8, Jasper Wiese, another boy from the 95 class. As we've seen, bro, I think he's just a bit ahead of Evan Roos, obviously more experienced. They back him a lot more, and I think he's in the mold of the new Dwayne, bro. Yeah, Number 9, I went with Grant Williams. The speed, what he did in this World Cup, ridiculous, bro. Obviously he played wing a lot, but that just helps us a bit, bro, because he offers a bit more in terms of he can play 2 positions, maybe even 3.
Don't you have a bit of a fear with Grant Williams, though, that he's getting moved around too much? We've seen it before with Ambrose Papi. Remember when he just came into the side? He was also thrown on the wing, and next moment now he's struggling a bit at the Bulls.
The thing is, though, the Grant Williams' speed puts him apart, bro. I think it's just like they only put him there because he's just so fast, bro. And I think that for his position and his skills are pretty good. His skills are pretty good, but I rate him. I like him a lot. I think he'll be the starting 9 moving forward, bro. But we'll have to see how that works out. Number 10, I went with Mani Lebok. If Andre, I expect Andre to actually still be there, most experienced. But if Mani, Mane has an opportunity now to kind of move ahead of Andre by,
Is he also
let's
the
say,
95
winning.
class?
He's 97, bro, so he's a bit younger, which is
97.
actually, so he'll be 30 at
He'll
the
be
next World
30.
Cup.
He'll still be
So
very experienced. That's still a good age there. That's like 100
exactly.
almost now, isn't it?
So he's right in the mix. So Mane, I reckon, and number 11, I got Curtly Arendse. Obviously, played this World Cup, but I don't expect anyone to be taking his position. He's also, like I said, got opportunity to establish himself and really make the jersey his, bro. So let's see how he goes. Number 12, Sasha Feinberg and Gomi Zulu. Bro, just extreme talent, bro. It is everything. He's just got everything.
Yeah.
And I expect him to
Wonderful.
yeah, so I expect him to start making a step up and getting more opportunities. Obviously, South Africa, we don't really have a lot of 12s, up and coming number 12s. You know, I was
Not
having a look
really,
at
no.
this. I was having a look at this. Like, we got a lot of 12s, but a bit older. Oh, that's
Like Lions got
interesting.
Marius Lowe, for instance. I mean, he's been
Yeah.
around the block now.
Exactly. Think of Rowan Jans van Rensburg, also a bit older. Andre Estesen, a bit older. I don't think he'll make the next World Cup. Yeah, so Sasha
There's not a lot of
Feinberg.
youngsters.
Exactly, so Sasha. Number 13, Kane and Moody. We've seen him in the 13 jersey against All
Moody at
Blacks.
13.
He's trying.
I've
Bro,
got
if he-
Kaden Imati, but he's not at 13.
Bro, for him to be smashing or killing the All Blacks like he did playing this position, I think that's his best position, bro.
I
Get
think
him
we
on the
got too
ball
many-
as much as you
I think
can.
we've got too many youngsters though, too many young options. You know there's some quality out there in the 13. Like you mentioned about 12, I think we've got the opposite problem on 13 where we have some, like a few monsters coming up.
Yeah, I just think he's the best, bro. Like,
I think he's the
13,
best. I got him in my
Get-
team, but not at 13.
get his hands on the ball, let him play. Number 14, Lorenzo Julius. I think a winger is one of those positions that's a little bit open at the moment, and we
Yeah.
look at the younger guys who's very exciting. Lorenzo obviously at the under 20 World Cup. Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous, bro. He's so fast. He just is. We don't really have like a explosive player like that. We haven't had one in a while.
Piwe.
Who's strong. A Piwe style,
Piwe
but I
Janti.
think. Yeah, but I think Lorenzo is a bit like more nippy, bro. He's got a lot more like stepping. He's a very impressive player. Physically insane, bro. And number 15, at this time, I think he's just going to be the world's best and stand out, Damien Willemse.
Yeah, he cemented that jersey. No one's taking the 15th spot from him now.
Exactly. On the bench, you got Joseph Dweber. I think he's got the experience. That hooker's not really a position that we've very full on in South Africa. Number 17, I went with Nkuno, beast. Bro, he's an animal. I expect him to start making a step up soon. The prop, Walker Low. Experience, he'll be in his prop prime at that age, in his 30s. At on the 19, I went
19.
Ruan Venter. Ruan Venter, I think he's versatile. He can play lock and flank. He's a beast, bro. He runs the ball so hard.
Yeah,
A difficult one for the other lock was choosing between Salman Murat and Ruan Nokia. I went with Salman just because of his leadership qualities. I think he's kind of that role of moving forward. He might look at like a captaincy type of role, you know, depending on his injuries and how he ends up playing. 21, I went with another forward, Evan Roos. Obviously, between him and Jasper for number 8 is
6-2 split.
yeah, 6-2 split. Between him and Jasper for number 8 is going to be an interesting battle next year. 22, Jaden Hendricks, reserves come off. I think he can also fill in at 10 if needed. And number 23, Apalele Fasi, also versatile outside back, winger, probably 13, but 15 covered. And that's my team, bro.
Fussy, eh? Interesting. One thing is, we've got a lot of the same players. We honestly have a lot of the same players. A few different ones though. I think I went for a little bit less experience, and I just went for players I think exciting. I feel like more exciting youngsters that I think could make the step up. So maybe my team might not be the right one, because I think you made a good point with the players being over 30, especially in the forwards, where you're more likely to find players over 30. In the backs, maybe some of these youngsters might come through. But just my team. So number 1, for all the same reasons you said, I think he's the heir to Stephen Kitsoff, Oxenchair. He was superb at the World Cup, coming on as the reserve. I think he's next in line. He'll just take the mantle over. He's ready to take that step up and be the starting prop. So Oxenchair, Malcolm Marx, I also think is going to be around again. Could be the best in the world. He's the best at the breakdown in the world. He's just good at everything. For me, on his day, not even on his day, when he's playing for the Springboks, he's the best hooker in the world, and I think he's shown it pretty much for the last decade now. So, number 3, here's where we have a bit of a difference. All the reasons why you said Thomas du Toit, I've got Volkulo, but you got Volkulo on the bench, and I've got Thomas du Toit on the bench. So I think they are. I think you can go in between those two. You can really pick either one. They very much intertwinable, like interchangeable. I should rather say interchangeable.
Yeah.
So between those two, you get almost the same player. Both of them very good. I just back Volko a bit more. I think moving to the Bulls is going to help him a lot. He's had that stint with the Harlequins in England, which obviously we've seen the growth and stuff the players get when they go to England or even just to Europe in general. So for me, Volkulo is number 3. Number 4, I think, you said Malcolm Mark, captain. I think we're going to see one of our guys still then. I think even Etzebeth is still going to be around. I think he's probably going to be captain in the side. Because I think Sia said that after this World Cup he's retiring, so they're going to have to find a new captain. Irvin is still definitely going to be around, at least for the foreseeable future. So I think he'll probably take the reins over as the captain of the side. I don't see anyone else. Do you see anyone else pushing for the captaincy, bar maybe Malcolm Marks and Irvin?
No.
Of up and coming, there's not really anyone, eh?
Yeah.
So I back Irvin to actually still stick around. He's still in excellent physical conditions. Locks can generally stay around longer. We've seen it with Victor Matfield and other locks that stay 36, 37, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then for number 5, I didn't have RG Snyman as the starting lock. He's on my bench, but I've gone with Ruan Orkia from the Bulls, captaining the Bulls alongside Marcel Coetzee this year. So I think Ruan Orkia is definitely the next one in line to take over. Unfortunately, Lewitt doesn't seem like he's going to be coming back soon. He's been dealing with that ongoing injury or health problem. So unfortunately, you're not going to have Lewitt back, he's going to be a huge loss. RG still there, like you mentioned. So another one, RG with his experience will probably be the starting one. I just think Ruan's had such a good couple of seasons the last couple of years. So for me, he's number 5. Number 6, you had him on the bench. I've got him in the starting lineup. Ruan Fenter. I just think there's not another lock, loose forward, I should say, that is performing at the level that he's performing, and he's performing in a poor line side that's generally struggling, and he always stands out. He brings the physical side to the team, carries good, clears the ruck well, and like you say, is another option in the line-out. 7, I got Ulrich Loh from the Bulls. He's had some time with the Springboks before, so he's another one that's just going to move straight into that role of the Peter Steph du Toit like prototype. He's built like Peter Steph du Toit. He plays a similar style of Peter Steph. Obviously not the player that Peter Steph is yet, but he could still get there. So Ulrich Loh, I think in the next 4 years will develop even more. Number 8, Jasper Wiese, next Dwayne, like you said.
Yeah.
He's been molded into that position for the last couple of seasons, coming from Leicester Tigers now. And just playing good rugby and always just seems to be around. If he's not starting, he's on the bench. So obviously highly rated by the Springbok management. Number 9, another Sharks scrum off, but I didn't go for Grant Williams. I went for Jaden Hendrickse. I think he's the classiest up and coming scrum off we have in the country as far as like passing and control, composure. He might not be the flashiest scrum off ever, but he never seems to make mistakes, which is what you need for a scrum off really. Number 10, I'm going with Handré Pollard. I got Marnie on the bench. I know we're still getting to the bench, but I got Marnie on the bench. I think his versatility is something that could come in handy for the Springboks, where he can play 10 or 15. He can probably even slot in at centre if need be, and on the wing. We saw, I think it was the Under-20 World Cup where he played wing a little bit. So he's another one I think that's going to be on the bench. But getting back to Handré, Handré going to be 33 at that time, very experienced. I just don't see another fly-off in the country that is as composed as him with the ball. The one guy that could take his spot though is Sasha Feinberg. But I've got Sasha Feinberg as number 12. Yeah, I think Sasha Feinberg wants to play 10. He even said I know John Dobson said earlier in the URC season that Sasha Feinberg's like pushing to play for that 10 position, and that he actually doesn't want to play 12, that he wants to play 10. That's like his preferred position. But he's shining as a 12. So I could easily see him still fitting in at 12, but that's the one guy. I think that could possibly take Andre's spot. But yeah, I still got him in the team. I got Sasha Feinberg, number 12. Classy player. I think we saw against the Lions that excellent little touch that he had to score his try. And he's another guy he's similar in that what everyone thought Damien Willemse was at a young age. Damien Willemse is superb now, so don't get me wrong. But in his young ages, there was some inconsistencies and uncertainty surrounding if he's going to ever reach that level. I think with Sasha Feinberg, you don't really have those fears. I think he's the next superstar of South Africa. I think even more so than Kanan Moody, who, in my opinion, was going to be the breakout player of the year, but we obviously didn't see that. Then I've got number 11, Kanan Moody. Talking about Kanan Moody. Number 11, I got Kanan. I think he's better suited as a winger. I think in the way he's built and stuff, he reminds me a lot of JP Peterson, and I think we need another winger like that. Also, he's built almost like Duan van der Merwe, who is a South African but plays for Scotland. So I've got Kanan as number 11. Number 13 was a toss-up for me. This was the most difficult one for me. I couldn't choose between Henko van Wyk or Lorenzo Julius. Henko van Wyk's had more experience now and has played at a higher level now, consistency, and actually performed really well. And like I said, also another one that performs well in the poor Lions side. But Lorenzo Julius, just from high school and stuff, he just seems like a superstar in the making. He just seems like he's going to explode soon. So Lorenzo Julius, Henko van Wyk. If I had to go with my heart, I'd say Henko. If I had to go with my head, I'd say Lorenzo. So let's go with Lorenzo at 13. 14, Kurtley Arendse. He's going to be the new Cheslin Colby at that stage. He's just going to be the experienced winner we need. He's also just so reliable, and he's a try-scoring machine, so you don't get rid of him. And Damian Willemse. In 4 years, probably going to be the best player in the world. Who knows? He could even be the first player to pick up 3 World Cup titles. So Damian Willemse, number 15. In 4 years, probably going to be the best player in the world. Who knows? He could even be the first player to pick up 3 World Cup titles. So Damian Willemse, number 15. Let's get to the subs. So you had Joseph Dweba as your sub hooker. I got Johan Grobelaar from the Bulls. I think he's very much in the similar mold of Malcolm Marx. So, and you know, with the Bulls, generally, their forwards always seem to come through and do well, like get to like an elite level. So, Johan Grobelaar. Then my first prop replacement is Untutuko Mukuna, same as you from the Sharks. I think he's also another one that's coming in and just doing well. And I think if you look at the props that are around and everything, I think he's definitely the best one for that role. Number 18, the swap we had, I had Thomas du Toit. You had Thomas du Toit starting, I had Volker Low starting. I've got Thomas on the bench, you had Volker on the bench. So Thomas du Toit, same reasons as you, got him on the bench. And then my locks, I've got actually just one lock. I've got RG Snyman on the bench. I think at 32, you could easily be starting, but I don't know, I'm backing Ronald Keir to come through and start shining more. Then experienced flanker, Kwagga Smith. I think he's another one that just seems like he's going to be one of those guys that never retires almost. He's also got all the fitness in the world. So I think Kwagga Smith, number 20. 21, Evan Roos. He's another one that could be pushing for the starting lineup if his performance has improved. But who knows? Sometimes he's a bit inconsistent. But I think he's probably next in line as well to get to the Booker. Here's a wild card choice though for me. 22, a scrum off options. I also went to the 6-2 split. I got Imad Khan from... Obviously, still a lot to go, still a lot of years left before him, but he's going to be 23 by the next World Cup, so he could be another one that's just the new kid on the block coming through. And then 23, I've got Mani Lebok. Exactly for the same reasons you said why he should be in the team. I think for his versatility and all of that, I think he's probably going to be the best play substitute we have. But yeah, that is our Booker team for 2027.
Pretty good team, bro. Pretty good team. I'm not gonna lie. We've got a lot of experience, bro. That's the crazy thing about that. Like, most of our guys have been involved, like, at this World Cup. So going into the next World Cup, we're gonna be like one of the most experienced squads. Anyway,
just so much depth. Yeah. That's the main thing we have. We have so much depth. That's like I said, the main thing.
Yeah.
And then Bruce, something very interesting that I saw today. I actually wanted to get your thoughts on this. The possible Club Rugby World Cup in 2028. I see the chairman of the EPCR, the European Professional Club Rugby chairman, Dominic McKay, was talking about it, and he said they're exploring the possibility of doing it in 2028 with almost all the big, like the tier 1 nations quite keen on doing it. What are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on the possible Club Rugby World Cup?
It's an interesting one. It's like, we've got such a full schedule already. I don't see where they're going to fit that in, bro. So that's going to be the interesting one. But it's the concept is interesting, bro. It'll be interesting to, like, let's say, watch Crusaders versus Toulon, bro. It's interesting to see, bro, especially if they got their best teams. But also, for me, what I want to know and I get an understanding of is, like, are we talking about just the best in the world? What's the qualifying process?
That's
Yeah.
that's what I was also thinking. Like teams like Russia, Spain, will their clubs also like get a chance to maybe there's like a second tier tournament or something?
Yeah.
Because also if you think about it, the Heineken Cup is around
Yeah.
and South Africa are involved in that. So at the moment, if you're talking about a club World Cup, it's pretty much adding New Zealand and Australia, which is fine, I guess, but it's not really anything. It's not like you said, it's kind of just making more of a problem with players already having like a busy schedule, like playing maybe too much rugby at the moment, maybe too much rugby going on in general.
Yeah.
Adding this might not be such a good idea.
Yeah, but we'll have to see what the setup is. I assume it'll be based on like the highest achievers that will play in the tournament.
From each league or
Won't be too
whatever.
big, but we'll have to understand if it's truly a World Cup or just like a labeled tournament, you know.
Maybe they're gonna do it like the football, you know, the football one. So whoever wins the URC, whoever wins top 14, maybe like eight
Yeah.
teams, and then they all do just like 3 games, like knockout or whatever. And
But then
get to
again,
the final.
that loses kind of interest. Then we're talking about like URC, the top 14 and Super Rugby teams competing against the minnows of the world. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. They're gonna smash them, and then it's just gonna be like whoever's the 2 best teams out of the top nations.
Exactly. So,
But we'll see.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but I don't know how they'll set it up, but we'll see what they have to say about that, bro. It's an interesting concept.
Yeah, we'll
It's
see
a good idea if you do it properly. If they do it properly.
if they can do it properly. Yeah, like you said, I think at the moment it's just the schedule's too busy, and it just seems like it's
Mhm.
another money grab almost.
Yeah.
Like these guys are always just looking for money rather than giving the players.
Yeah.
Looking after the players. But anyway, that's now the rugby done and dusted for the weekend. There's quite a bit of rugby stuff going on.
Yeah.
Let's jump straight into the football Premier League action, bro. Premier League action. We're obviously going to concentrate a little bit on the big teams, the top 6, just a little bit, and then we'll fly through the other ones.
Mhm.
Wolves versus Spurs. What is your prediction and what's your thoughts on the match?
I think Tottenham are flying, but now obviously they've got a lot of injuries, and Wolves are not the easiest team at home. But I back
And 2 red cards, eh?
exactly.
2 players will be missing.
I back Postecoglou's style, bro. So it's I think they'll take this game a closer score than what they would usually. I reckon 2-1 to Spurs. Yeah.
2-1.
Yeah.
I'm also thinking it's going to be tight, but I'm actually backing it to be a draw.
Mhm.
I think they lost quite a few big players. I think losing Romero and Udogi causes quite a lot of issues. And then we're not certain about the statuses of James Maddison and Mickey van der Ven. They could also possibly be out for this game. So, I don't know. I think this is a big opportunity for Wolves. So I'm going with the 1-1 draw. I still back Spurs, who still have enough quality to at least maintain, to keep themselves in the game. But I think
Mhm.
Wolves are quite a decent side this season.
Yeah, for sure.
Then we're moving on to your team, bro.
Mhm.
The team that can't win, like can't get a win from anywhere. We got Man United against Luton. Maybe they can beat Luton, who are like the minnows of this league. What are your thoughts, bro?
Bro, you don't even know what to say, bro. They surely.
It's been woeful this season. What is it? 9 losses out of
Bro,
17
it's-
games, and it's like you guys just lose all the time. Even when it's like you don't expect to lose, you guys lose. You guys find a way to lose.
Yeah, we won this game, bro. Luton not the best. I reckon we'll pick up a 2-0 one year. Nice to see Rasmus scoring. It's important, bro. Rasmus needs to.
Still hasn't scored in the Prem though.
This will be the first one, bro. It has to be. It has to be. No, he has to
Yeah,
score,
so-
bro. He's playing well, bro.
Yes.
But now just.
He doesn't get enough service though. That's the problem. You guys lack a proper creative midfielder.
Yeah.
Even Bruno is more like a goal-minded midfielder. Like he tries to score more than create. So you guys lack like someone that can create opportunities for Rasmus. But I agree with you. I also think it's gonna be a 2-0 victory for you guys. You just don't see anything from Luton really.
Mm.
Like even though you guys are struggling, you still like with your head you still have to back Man
Yeah.
United in this one. But as I say that, Man United could easily lose, easily get a draw, easily
You
lose
just
this
never
game.
know.
Like,
You
you
just
guys are
never know.
struggling. You guys are struggling so much to score. I think your attacking line has been poor this season. I think Ten Hag's got a lot of decisions wrong. I think there's still so many changes needs to happen at that club, but you just don't know where to start.
What is this, bro? You just
Anyway.
come here, bring me on this show to give me shit, bro. Move on.
Bro, it's not my fault. It's not my fault your clubs run like this, bro. You must take it up with the Glazers and Ten Hag and them, not with me. Okay, but it's fine, dude. Now I'm gonna introduce you to some proper
Shut up,
football
bro.
now, like a real proper team. We got Arsenal against Burnley. What do you think's going to happen to this one? We obviously saw Arsenal picking up a good 2-0 victory in the UCL this week against Sevilla, so they're flying a little bit. Kai Havertz performing much better now in the last couple of games. So what do you think of the Arsenal versus Burnley game? Arsenal at home, obviously.
Yeah, I think you guys pick up easy points against the bad teams first, so I expect you guys to beat them 3-1 we'll go with. Yeah, it's just easy game for you guys, I think.
Yeah, I'm also going for an easy game for us. Easy win. Burnley just concede goals like it for fun.
Yeah.
They're pretty decent attacking team, but they're so bad at the back. So I'm going for a 4-1 Arsenal win. Big, like I said, Havertz doing really good as of late, taking over from Odegaard, who's been out. I still don't think Odegaard's going to be back this weekend, so that's a big blow for the Gunners. But his injury seems to be not too bad, so hopefully after the international break he's back. But Thomas Partey, Emil Smith-Rowe and Gabriel Jesus only expected back around January, like the end of December. So those are big losses for the Gunners, but I still think Arsenal going to get quite an easy win over Burnley here. Okay. And then Brew, obviously another big one coming up this weekend, especially for Liverpool fans, is Liverpool-Brentford. They're coming off the back of a very disappointing 1-1 draw against Luton last week. You think they're going to get back to winning ways, or it's going to be another difficult one for the Reds?
Bro, I expect them to come back, but Brentford's not the easiest, bro. But at home, they're hurting, bro. I reckon they'll probably pull this one through. It's an interesting one. Liverpool, you can on their day, bro. They beat anybody in the world. On their day, they can struggle against anyone in the world.
Yeah, Liverpool, they're quality side, but like you say, they lost it to Luton the week. Drawing to Luton is pretty much a loss these days. So Liverpool going to have a difficult game against Brentford. The only concern is that Brentford could catch them on the counter. Wissa and Mbeumo have been very good causing defenders nightmares this season. But I agree with you. I think Liverpool going to get a 2-1 win here. I can't imagine Liverpool losing 3 games in a row. So I'm also going for Liverpool picking up a win again. Now onto the blockbuster match of the weekend. We've got Chelsea versus Man City. Easy one for Man City, that's all I can see. All I can see is a Man City one.
Yeah, bro. Maybe a hat-trick from Nicholas Jackson might just upset you there again, bro. But no.
There's no way. Nicholas Jackson's not even getting a sniff in this game. It's going to be all Man City, bro. Yeah,
bro. I see Haaland's at least back. He's not injured. So obviously I expect them to smash Chelsea, bro. They're just on a different level, bro. It's not even interesting to watch.
I agree with you. It's the treble winners versus the £1 billion squad. I only see Man City getting the win. Yeah, it's written all over. It's on the cards. I think Man City are gonna get an easy win. And that's our Premier League preview of the weekend, guys. Thank you very much.